Greetings, Ashish. Welcome. It's great to have you here. For the audience, Mr. Ashish Jain is the CEO of Healthcare Sector Skills Council, and it's our privilege and honor to have him here with us. And in our today's session, we're going to understand from him how Weljii and Healthcare Sector Skill Council are creating pathways for the future health and wellness coaching industry in India. So a very, very warm welcome to you, Ashish.
Thank you, Preeti.
Thank you so much for taking time from your busy, busy schedule. So my very first question is for the understanding of the audience. Tell them a little bit more about what is the role of Healthcare Sector Skill Council and how are you pivotal in India in terms of skill development?
Okay, so I think us may have heard about the Skill India, which is the mission which is launched by the Honorable Prime Minister of India himself 5 years ago. We have just celebrated the 5th anniversary, on 15th of July. So I think it's been a long journey of 5 years. We have come a long way in these 5 years. If I share my personal experience through these 5-6 years, what has happened is probably if somebody speaks about skills 5 years back, nobody is so, aware of about skills. What is skills training all about? How is it important? So only it was a formal education. Somebody has to do a BSc, MSc, or become an engineer or a doctor. I think now what we have seen by the, change which has happened slowly over the period of time, that going by the indulgence of the highest leadership in the country, I think people started recognizing skills training as an important, important component. They have started recognizing this to be a respectful kind of a training to be done. This has not become a second rated or third rated now. So I think it has become a center stage because I think many of you may have heard about this. While the Honorable PM goes outside the country, he speaks about skills. He has spoken at New York, he's spoken in India as well multiple times. I think that's has brought this as center stage now. What we are doing is in the skill setup is this, under the Skill India mission, we are the implementation partner for Skill India for the healthcare trainings across the country. And we implement those trainings. So our basic role starts with the first is the mandate. Our mandate is to say, create standards for any training to be done. We pick up any role today in the health sector. First and the foremost is we create standards around them so that there is standardized training which can be provided across country, across people get the same training, and there is a certification done on the training so that people and the employers are actually aware of the fact that person actually have these competencies with him or her. So it's a kind of a standardization of competencies with the person along with these training. So what we do is we collaborate with a lot of people around the country and even the other countries also, so that we can ensure the international mobility is also possible for such student. So there's a G2G kind of discussions happening, MOUs being signed, where people certified under Skill India and through this Healthcare Sector Skill Council can also get opportunities to have jobs abroad as well. Just to point one case example in this is, say we do receive multiple queries from the bodies from other countries saying, it's like a validation request which we receive that so and so has done the certification from you, is this valid or not? So I think that speak about itself, that people are going abroad getting jobs as well basis the certification under Skill India. So I think that's a tremendous thing to do. Secondly, what we also do along with that is one is standard. Secondly, what we do is we also create standards of training as well. So it's not only the standard for the qualification or the role, it's about training also. We are trying to see how we can create an ecosystem in the entire country for the training which is of a standardized value, which is comparable to the world in terms. So we'll reach to that sooner or later. We have currently we have the training centers across country which are of highest quality, comparable to anything in the world class kind of a thing. People do visit here from across country, and when they see such facilities, they really feel happy and appreciate those things in our country as well. So I think those are the basic roles. And third and the final role, which I already mentioned very briefly to you, is that once the training is done, we actually do a third-party assessment for the candidate as well, which means we certify that student for the competency which he or she has gained over the period of that training. If they clear the examination, they are provided certification. If they do not, they have to come back for examination again. So I think in nutshell, what we are trying to do is we are bridging the gap between the youth and the employer. Employer needs people for their requirement today, which is maybe not trained as per what they need. So what we are identifying, the employers need to say what is actually they need. Around those needs, we create the training programs, the standards around that. The students are trained and they are matched to each other. So our country youth also gets a job, and the industry also get the people who they actually really want and are work ready from day one. So that's, I think, in a nutshell, what we're trying to work on.
That is phenomenal, because health and wellness, the health industry is sometimes very, very fragmented, very highly unregularized. And so for employers, it's a really go-to place when they want to find the right candidates. So when somebody's done a healthcare sector skill council program, they know they're getting the person who's done the right kind of education, because the education institute they've gone to has met all quality standards. And the curriculum, they've met all the curriculum standards, the faculty standards, the skills standards. So therefore, for the industry, it seems like a perfect marriage, because they don't have to look anywhere further, because just doing a certificate program that comes under the healthcare skill council, sector skill council, is a validation that's a good certificate.
Yeah,
so
basic idea is really that we wanted to ensure that when the student goes with the certification, the employer is assured of the competency of the person. And that's why what we do is we actually involve the employer since beginning. So it's not that we create standards ourselves. We actually reach out to the employers, ask them what is that they desire, what is that you need in this occupation, and based on that only the standard is created. So what happens once the student goes through the cycle and he or she, shows them the certificate, they're already aware that it is them who actually has created these standards. And if a person has now come across this chain, they're pretty assured in terms of some kind of a competency with the student as well.